I'm gonna get Metu's ass.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast. Man, we got a treat for you today. Not only do we have Rebecca, who has decided to ignore her family and come join us today, but we also have our long lost brother, Metu, in the building. Metu's been gone from us for a long time, but the white man has decided not to slave him today. He's joining us. Good evening, good brother Metu. How you been doing, my dude?
Don't you talk about the white man like that, boy.
He couldn't
I
even say
tell
it
him.
with a straight face. he couldn't.
I tell
Don't you
him.
talk about my Jesus now?
He couldn't even say that. He couldn't even say it right. He couldn't.
I was telling on you Negroes.
He couldn't even sound like a slave. He couldn't even pretend to sound like a coon. I was
But I
telling
do
on
got
you.
my tap dancing shoes on.
Y'all play too much already. Here y'all go.
What's up, Becky? How you doing today? Glad
I'm
you
good, man.
joined us. I started to do the show without you.
Oh, I'm
Becky with
sorry.
the good hair. So-called good hair.
No, yeah.
Yes,
I'm
the
really
hair
thinking about.
that defies gravity is good hair. See, white people got lazy hair; it just flows. People got good hair; it goes towards the sun. That's their good hair. You know, we just don't leave random hairs just lying around the house.
He
Hey, the
said
white
white
girl,
people got
you know,
lazy
white people
hair.
shed. So, you know, you liable to date a white girl or something. You know, they shed like German shepherds. So,
I got a deer in front of me, brother.
I'm sorry, you got a white woman in the car with you, Metu, you done sold it out?
Oh my
Metu
God.
done
That's
sold it out. He
blasphemy,
done got
brother.
him a
Don't you ever.
Caucasoid. God damn it, Metu.
Oh yeah, here y'all go. Here y'all go.
What that white man gave you that shirt? I'm glad you got that shirt that white man gave you.
This was a sister who bought the shirts and designed it, my skin color.
I hear you talking. That sound like
Despite,
something that a white man would say.
despite what Brother Metu says, my skin color is not a crime. But before we get too far off course, 2020 strikes again. The universe has decided to take our brother Chadwick Boseman and turn him into an ancestor.
Yeah,
Brother was, if I'm not mistaken, he was 43, so he was
yeah,
still very young. You know,
yeah.
with colon cancer for 4 years, and
Yep.
he was a trooper, man. He honestly was. You know, a lot of people would have folded under depression. A lot of people would have folded because of the health issues and things. But that is a true soldier. You know what I mean? He kept going until he couldn't go no more. So since Brother Metu has not been here for a while, brother, what are your thoughts on Brother Chadwick, and what is your favorite movie?
Of course, Black Panther. But peace be upon it, brother. May he collaborate with the ancestors and in the realm of their goon. But it was a loss. You know, it was a victory. You know, we need ancestors like that and that brother. But what's interesting to me is what's up with these people who are wealthy and are dying of illnesses like that. It's like, you know, I know some poor people that are healthier than rich people. You got the resources and access to it, but you're dying. So I don't know. You know, I don't want to scream conspiracy, but that's just interesting for you to have all that money and you die of colon cancer when you know you have information like Dr. Sabi, you had Dr. Liza Africa, you have many people who that can help alleviate that. You know, but peace be upon our brother. I don't want to say no ill will about the brother. He did a phenomenal job with Black Panther. He did good in 42. He did good in what's the other movie with
The
James Brown?
Fireblood.
You know, James Brown was on
James
some other
Brown was
stuff.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even get to see the Thurgood Marshall movie because I don't like Thurgood Marshall. You know, he was working for the government. Uh, and so the brother he made his contribution. It was interesting is in one of the last movies, what was that, the Avengers movies, he died in that movie.
Yeah.
or what's called the end game or something like that.
Avengers Endgame. He did die.
Yep.
Half of the entire
So
universe.
I was looking for the second part of Black Panther, so they might resurrect Killmonger.
Mm.
Well, I heard, and I've never really read Black Panther comics, but I heard that somewhere along the line, his sister Shuri becomes.
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna see how they do that with brother Ryan Coogler, the whole cast. Shout out to the whole cast, man. They really did their thing on Black Panther. I thought it was a great movie. Did I think it was revolutionary? No. Everybody like, oh, they killed that brother because of the Black Panther. Black Panther was good. It was not revolutionary. That's all I'm gonna say. Rebecca, go ahead.
I don't have much to say. I think it's sad. I think he had an amazing work ethic. I mean, he was diagnosed 4 years ago, and just think about 2016, he was still shooting the Black Panther and all the other movies and projects and things that he was doing on Broadway. And that's an amazing work ethic to be diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer and then still be able to come to work and perform every single day. Like that's unheard of. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying it hasn't been done before, but I'm just saying it's unheard of. And then to have stage 4 colon cancer and you still pushing and you still grinding as hard, like he just didn't let it slow him down. So you could definitely tell that he had a strong spirit, strong work ethic. It's just sad. 2020 is trash.
Yeah, man. 2020 has taken the Black Mamba and the Black Panther. How that work?
No, it took a lot of other people. Let's not forget the other people that that 2020 took out. That people don't forgot about our brother. Like our brother. What's the brother's name? Little Richard. He transitioned this year.
Did he? Yeah. Dwayne. I was going to say Rocky Johnson, one of the first black heavyweight champions. I think he might have been the first. I know him and Tony Atlas, another good brother, was tag team, back in the earlier days of wrestling. I know, Rocky Johnson passed the beginning of this year,
My brother Bill Withers, he transitioned this year.
Yes. Oh, my God. Bill Withers, man. That man is so amazing. Side note, that brother was in his like mid-30s by the time he became famous and hit stardom. Like that made his whole career, and it took another good brother named Clarence. I can't remember his last name, but he's the Black Godfather Netflix documentary. Brother Clarence seen something in him. Well, hey, bro, let's do something with you. He pretty much told him, like, well, I already have a career, so I hope it works. And I'm glad he trusted in him because he left us some straight classics, including a lot of classics that was sampled by, hip hop, But that's a side note. Back to Brother Chadwick. His work ethic is inspiring to me.
Yeah. I don't mean to cut you off. This one other person that's interesting. Regis Philbin died this year.
But he's white, so we're not gonna talk about him.
Yeah, Regis Philbin. You got our good brother Cliff Robinson, NBA player. He died this year, 53.
And there was a black head coach that died a couple days ago. So 2020's been one of those years.
And brother John Lewis, we mentioned him.
Fuck John Lewis. Do not mention that. Do not mention that man's name on this podcast. You famous for getting your ass whipped on that Edmund Pettisburg. I don't want to hear nothing about John Lewis. Nothing.
John Lewis go on the same list as what's that one nigga?
Elijah Cummings.
Him and what's the other one? The first to die in the Revolutionary War. Christmas Addicts.
About Christmas Addicts.
Yeah, he go on that same list. Christmas Addicts was a slave, fought for a slave master. They put him on the front line. They shot him in his penis and he bled to death.
Oof.
You mean nothing.
Yes. So fuck all the clones. But back to somebody who actually did something, somebody who actually matters. Now I don't know why they had Brother Chadwick playing all of the black people who was famous, but nonetheless, he was a great actor. Shout out to Denzel Washington, who funded. I think he paid for his summer school program in college or something like that. But Denzel was one of the first people who believed in Chadwick, and so it's just you making connections. Okay, so somebody, you got Denzel. I don't know who inspired Denzel or who gave him a leg up or whatever it is. I know his queen definitely helped him, on his journey to become the Denzel that we know today. But just the fact that he reached out to Brother Chad, brother, I'm gonna help you out. That's what we got to do, man. We got to work together. We got to help each other out, man. That's why when I see somebody doing something real positive, man, I want to shout them out, give them a few dollars if I can. I didn't just come to Brother Metu, be like, hey, Metu, I want you to design a logo for me. And then, well, I only got this $20 for you. Brother Metu, he charged me. I forget how much he charged me. It's irrelevant, but I paid the man what he was worth. So thank you, Brother Metu, for not only the socially conscious logo, but also my More Lawns logo.
No problem. I mean, then I've supported you. I'm like, I need some grass cut.
That's
you came
true.
over, you cut the grass. I didn't talk it down.
No.
I paid you what you
Didn't
asked
ask for no discount.
Got
You
the
know
job
we
done,
look alike, brother.
Well, the white man, okay, but you can't go to Walmart, Target, Starbucks, or anywhere else to get a discount. Yeah, can I get a discount on one of them chai lattes? They'll be like, well, you can discount your black ass out that door. Matter of fact, they might call the police on you. The police or Starbucks go hand in hand. Getting sidetracked.
Yeah, you got to watch out for. Karen was resurrected this year, so that was interesting.
Karen ain't never been nowhere. But
yeah, she resurrected. I mean, she kind of disappeared a little bit and came back.
We're getting sidetracked. Let's get back on Brother Boseman. We can talk about Karens all day, every day, no problem. But this the segment that we honor our good brother who became an ancestor. I don't know what my favorite movie is. I don't necessarily have a favorite movie. Black Panther was definitely good. 42 was good. I don't agree with the person who he was betraying. The way he acted in that movie, I can really appreciate his craft. I really appreciate everything that he did. Sad to see him go at such a young age.
Yeah.
He was a very cool, smooth, suave brother. He even shouted out his wife low key at one of the award shows. He her cooning, buck dancing, kowtowing. He wasn't doing none of that. He stood in his truth. Okay, he wasn't ultra revolutionary, but that's not always what it takes. Just the fact that he played Black Panther, to have black children see a lead character, Black Panther, who's a king. He got his own country, his finances. That is way more important to me for them than what's Barack Obama. Yes, I said it.
Oh wow!
Far more important to see.
I'm not gonna touch that, brother. I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, as a matter of fact, this was not on the topic list. But speaking of Barack Obama, now you heard that the NBA players, LeBron James and everybody else, decided to boycott the 2020, 2021, I don't know where it is. But anyway, the 2020 season. And the next day they came out like, well, we going to go back to playing. It was Barack Obama who talked to these brothers and convinced them that it is way more important for you to get these niggas to vote than it is for you to take money out of the hands of your owners. I just seen that. Shout out to my brother Phil from African Diaspora, man. He came out with that today. I could not believe. Well, I'm not gonna say I couldn't believe it, but I was wondering. I was like, y'all was just standing in unison one day, and then the next day, well, we're gonna go back to plan. Now we know it was Barack Obama behind the scenes, and you know what they got? More easily, readily access to voting. So they're basically gonna turn the arenas in which they play in into voting locations. So we see we're being duped. 2020 has struck again. We have been duped again by Barack Obama. He has sold us out time and time again. But you still love that man. I was getting into a disagreement with one of our elders just the other day, and she was basically giving Barack Obama praise. I said, Barack Obama, the same Barack Obama that called the Baltimore protesters thugs, the same Obama that passed the Blue Alert laws, the same Obama who told you that I can't give you anything specifically for you because this is not how America works. But then you turn right back around and get a shit to the Native Americans, the whitewashed Native Americans, not the dark-skinned Native Americans, but the whitewashed ones. You know, that Obama, and I see she didn't comment back, so I'm just like, y'all give this man too much praise. And it's for the simple fact that we black folk are too, I'm gonna say mostly the older generation, not so much millennials, but so much the older generation. You don't look at policies, you don't look at procedures, you don't even bother to read what these motherfuckers' mission statement is. If you go to the Black Lives Matter website and look at their mission statement, it says that basically we're here for LGBTQ LMNOP rights, and we don't give a fuck about none of the rest of you motherfuckers. I'm paraphrasing, but you go to the website, that's basically what it said. Well, we're here for, you know, equality and rights for the LGBT inclusion into the black community. Our brother James Baldwin was a openly homosexual male, but he was black first. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you screw. It's none of my business. You could be gay, you could be lesbian, whatever you feel.
But what people don't know is that there's a lot of racism in the LGBT community. People don't
Facts.
know J. Edgar Hoover was a member of the LGBT community.
Cross dressers.
And how many people knew that Thomas Jefferson was an LGBT person and a pedophile?
Now that I didn't know, but it doesn't surprise me because sagging comes from the plantation. When the slave master, a lot of people say that it don't come no slavery. Everything, pretty much all of our ailments, you can take from now and trace it back. Transatlantic slave trade. So the master of the plantation would take the biggest, baddest buck on the farm, and he would tie him to a post, and he would sodomize him in front of the whole plantation.
It's called buck breaking.
Yeah, the buck.
Thank you. Buck breaking. So these are
they called it buck breaking, but it was butt breaking.
Butt busting.
Yikes. Ugh.
True story.
Breaking that ass.
A lot of the slave master would rape the women and the men because a lot of them be going both ways.
Like in Jamaica, they outlawed it. They in Jamaica, they got a word for homosexual. They call them a batiman. A batiman is a person that wants another person's body. You're a batiman. So that's why, like, our brother Bougie Bonson got in so much trouble because he had a song that says "Boom, bye, bye" to the batiman's head.
Yikes.
They did that. The British and the French was raping. Even how many people know that during the civil rights movement they was raping brothers in them prisons?
They still raping brothers in the prisons.
And it's the same game, new name.
Thank you.
To demasculinize the black man.
Thank you.
Because our
Speaking of,
sister, Dr. French Cress Wellington, teaches us that the black male, he has the genetic apparatus to genetically annihilate white people. So what goes on in the mind computer of white supremacists is, I must reduce his masculinity.
mm-hmm,
The threat to white supremacy is black male masculinity.
Mm.
facts. Now, speaking of someone who seriously lacks black male masculinity, I just got to go on record by saying, can we just get rid of Dwayne Wade and Terry Crews and trade them for Kobe and T'Challa? That's all I'm saying. Just the 2020. If there's a 2020 God, can we just have the Black Mamba and the Black Panther back? Just get rid of Dwayne Wade and Terry Crews. Just take them with you. Now we out here doing this protesting. We out here boycotting. We out here fighting for the struggle. And this big, buff, bald-headed coon, Terry Crews, gonna get out here and talk about we should be boycotting Magic City.
Yes, that is what he said.
Magic City is world famous strip club in Atlanta where everybody goes. You can't go to Atlanta without going to Magic City, apparently. I've never been to Atlanta, so that's probably why I've never been to Magic City. But apparently you cannot go to Atlanta going to Magic City. This nigga said that we should boycott Magic City. Really, nigga? Really, nigga? Is that what we're doing? Seriously? I hate Terry Crews with a passion. Every time this nigga he got some bullshit to say. Well, let's boycott some NBA games. No, we should boycott Magic City. What? Where does that even come from in your mind? And then he got so much backlash, he ended up backtracking. I didn't really mean it like that, but what I was saying was, these women are being oppressed, and they don't know what they's doing. He motherfucker damn start talking like a slave. Them women's in them strip clubs don't know what they's doing. Look, let a hoe be a hoe. That's what Willie D famously said in one of his songs, let a hoe be a hoe. If a girl want to go strip in a strip club, let that bitch mind her own goddamn business.
Hoes do what hoes gonna do.
Hoes do what hoes gonna do. No disrespect to the brother who got shot by the police last week. He was over there trying to break up two hood rats fighting. Don't save him. Mind your business. That's all I'm saying. Now, if that brother had have not been trying to break up them hood rats from fighting, he might still be alive today. We got to learn that everybody don't want to be saved. Terry Crews don't want to be saved. He wants to be with his white people. He wants to be with good old master. Gabrielle Union, I don't really like Gabrielle Union, but she came out and said that there's mad racism on America's Got Talent. Nick Cannon said the same thing. Here goes this nigga. I ain't never seen no race. They get the buck in their eyes and shit. I ain't never seen no racism on America's Got Talent. I have friends of all races, nigga. Please, I'm so over 2020. Can we just go to 2021, please?
I'm scared what 2021 has to offer. I tell
Let's
you,
go with 2021.
2021 gonna be worse than 2020. 2020, like, 2020 is nothing but rehearsal.
Man, that's why I'm scared of what
2020 let's bring up the bubonic plague. How many people know that the bubonic plague has came back?
Yep, I heard about that about a month and a half ago. About a month and a half ago, yeah, I heard something about it.
The Europeans of the Black Plague.
Now this is the bubonic plague. I heard something about it about a month and a half ago, but they kind of like
low-key. Bubonic plague.
Whatever.
I thought the Moors taught them Europeans how to bathe, man, too.
No, they talking about
use soap and wash your ass.
They like trying to low-key slide it in.
The plague is in the rodents. It's in the rodents, and then that's where the whole pop popper thing comes from, where the guy came in with a flute playing in the thing, the the rats basically chased him up a hill, and it drowned the rats and shit. But that's
Now hold on.
their
I thought
story.
that was about like luring kids into some pedophilia shit. I've seen that somewhere.
Nah, that was about luring rats into the ocean. The Pied Piper.
That's originally how it got started, but
It's about
David's not wrong
It was
either.
about getting rats out of
Mhm.
Europe.
Rebecca, go ahead.
No, I said that's how it started, but David's not wrong either because I've heard that analogy before too about the whole pedophilia thing. But the whole bubonic plague situation, I feel like they try to low key slide it in. Like,
Well, it really comes from when they shut down the restaurants. Now the restaurants don't got scrapped for the rats, so they just gang up and attack people.
Interesting. Now, D Wade is back in the news.
Always for them.
With a new tattoo.
I saw that bullshit.
Let me share my screen here so that everybody can see this funky ass tattoo that this nigga. Okay, can y'all see that? Can y'all see my screen?
There it is. Yeah.
All right.
Look at that line.
What is that?
Okay, that is supposed to be.
Look at that two face.
This is what he was supposed to be getting tattooed on whatever the hell he got it tattooed at. But instead of getting that, he got that. Just zoom in there. All right.
Look at that line. Look at Metu face. Metu, can you make a different face, please?
I'm trying to see what that is.
That is the good brother Martin Luther King Jr.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, that's like some etch a sketch type stuff.
Listen.
Like all they had to do was move his arm and it disappeared.
Man. Shake them over.
It looked no disrespect to Dr. King, but it looked like that brother got Down syndrome.
Listen, man, they did him wrong.
You know, I have tattoos. I love tattoos. I love ink. You know, tattooing is a thousands-year-old tradition. You know, Polynesian, you know, African, everywhere. Everybody has a tradition of tattoos. Now, for the amount of money, hold on, let me not go there just yet. Brother DeWade.
Oh, sorry.
I appreciate you trying to pay homage to the ancestor. I appreciate you trying to pay homage to the ancestor. But for the amount of money this brother got, you couldn't have got a better tattoo artist?
He worth 120 million.
Or maybe you should have gotten it larger so your tattoo artist could actually fill in the details. But that shit looks like ass. Oh, he was so proud of it. Look at this new tattoo I got, everybody. He posted it up on Instagram. That's what we was just at on his Instagram page. He's so happy. Niggas was clowning his ass like, bro. So again, let us take a moment to pray. Dear God of 2020, can we just get rid of Dwayne Wade and Terry Crews?
Boy, stop it.
Please bring back the Black Mamba and the Black Panther, because this shit is ridiculous. What's next? You gonna get a tattoo of Marcus Garvey? I hope not. Bet you like, hey.
Man, I say somebody get this dude say his friend got a tattoo of Malcolm X. He said he didn't want to tell him that was actually Denzel Washington.
I seen that. I seen that on
like, wow,
Facebook.
He got a picture of the cover of the Malcolm X movie as a picture of Malcolm X.
That's sad, yo.
I said, boy.
That is
I
sad.
I seen a white woman with Harriet Tubman on her leg though.
Well, get the.
But we got Marilyn Monroe around our chest.
You right. It's a lot of people. It's people with Marilyn Monroe tattoos, Marilyn Monroe pictures.
I mean, why have Marilyn Monroe when we had Dorothy Dandridge?
Right. You right.
Well, you know, we got a new Marilyn Monroe. Her name is Adele. Adele was out here with them Bantu knots and that Jamaican bikini at that barbecue. I don't know who the hell.
Who?
Adele. The singer Adele. Y'all ain't seen
The
it?
white girl? Mm-mm.
Yeah, the white girl. Hold on. Let me.
Oh, what in the actual hell?
You looking at the picture now, ain't you?
Yes. What?
Hold on. Let me share my screen real quick. I'm gonna let everybody see this.
This is some bullshit.
Oh, Brother Red 2 loves white women, so I'm gonna go ahead and show him a picture of his future fiance.
I'm still here.
She's on a Notting Hill Carnival, my beloved London. Girl, if you don't get your rub. And you got people all in her comments just like rooting her on. You look right at home. Zoe Saldana.
Was she in Jamaica?
And Naomi Campbell.
I don't think so. I think she's in England because Nottingham is in England.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's a Jamaican flag on her. She got a Jamaican bra.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she got the beautiful Bantus here.
And the caption says, "Happy what would be Notting Hill Carnival, my beloved London." What in the actual hell?
Don't do it. Somebody that, oh man, they was clowning your girl on Facebook. They say she done got that Wakanda meat. Wakanda forever. Somebody to turn Dale out. She been by, got some of that Jamaican Bahama mama dick.
Check this out.
You know, white women always had a fascination with black men.
They love it on
that white man had a fascination with the baby boy.
On Instagram, they loving it on Instagram. This girl says, and it's a black girl, "This is appreciation, people, not appropriation. Woke up to news articles questioning this look for Adele. Let me guess, no one asked a Jamaican if this was offensive. This is how they dress to hit the road, and having your hair out of your face in Bantu knot helps. She isn't dressed this way for Halloween. That would be cultural appropriation. Why can't people learn the difference? Let me explain for those who are still wondering." And this is short, don't worry. "This is like my Pakistani neighbors celebrating a holiday, and I dress my 2-year-old in a shalwar kameez to the celebrations. She looks awesome, happy and bomb, by the way. This Jamaican with traditional clothes and accessories from Thailand, Pakistan, India, Uganda, and Kenya approves." So people in her comment section on Instagram is loving it, black and white. Mostly black that I've seen on Instagram. Just saying.
Of course, they have that white woman fetish. You know, you want something that you're not supposed to have. I think that's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah. Sad, ain't it?
No, you can't have white woman.
People need to watch the documentary. Real good documentary is called Bleaching Black Culture. Real good documentary.
I never heard of it.
Bleaching Black Culture.
Bleaching Black Culture. You heard it here first from Brother METU. Yeah, so I don't know what your girl Adele was doing. I'm pretty sure she got a black boyfriend. I think she do. I think she got divorced from the white dude who she was married to. I think she got a brother.
She did. That dude took almost all her money.
Who, the
Ashton
white
was-
man or the brother?
Mhm. The white man took almost all her money.
Well,
That sounds about white.
I don't feel sorry for her.
But she been posting a lot of black people on her page, on her Instagram lately.
Whatever, lady.
I'm just saying.
Whatever, lady.
I'm
Whatever.
just a messenger.
Whatever.
What's next, brother?
The next is Hurricane Laura topples the Confederate monument the town had voted to keep. This is according to thehill.com. Yes, here we go. So, just 2 weeks after the city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, voted to keep a Confederate monument standing, Hurricane Laura brought it down on Thursday with 150 miles an hour winds as it made landfall. The Daily Advertiser reports that the statue, the South Defender Monument, was the subject of contentious debate, which ended in a vote on August 13. The Caliseo Parish Police jury ultimately voted 10-4 to keep the statue in place, even as national reckoning sparked by police killings of Black Americans, including George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, pushed other states and municipalities to take down their Confederate monuments and statues. While the South Defenders Monument was expected to stay in front of a Lake Charles courthouse, Hurricane Laura, the statue after making landfall as one of the strongest storms to hit Louisiana on record. The hurricane barreled into the state as a Category 4 hurricane, eventually dwindling down to a level 2. After Laura tore through the parish and further inland, images of the destruction were captured online. Pictures show a Confederate soldier holding a flag lying at the base of the monument. The statue was erected in 1915 to honor Confederate soldiers that hail from Lake Charles and other parts of the South. Calicayu, whatever the fuck it is, parish officials noted that they had received 945 responses from the community in regards to the decision to remove it. Of the total responses, 878 were against relocating the monument, 67 were for relocating the monument. The parish administrator, Brian Beam, told reporters the base of this South Defenders Monument remains with no word of what will happen to the broken top portion of the statue. Multiple states across the South have decided to remove the Confederate monuments as renewed Black Lives Matter protests call for an end to systematic and institutional racism in the U.S. And that's pretty much it. Oh. Brother Metu has left us.
Yeah.
Well,
Like he's
show must go on. Rebecca, what are your thoughts on this monument being destroyed by the Hurricane Laura?
I was like, congrats. Honestly, I didn't have a lot to say about it. Tell you the truth, I didn't have a lot to say about it. I was just like, oh, okay.
You didn't have.
It's a shame that it took. It's shame. Not really. It's a shame that it took a hurricane to get it the fuck out of there. But you know, whatever. I mean, what are your thoughts? I didn't have a lot to say about it.
Well, actually, I was hoping Brother Metu was going to be here, but that's okay. That's okay.
What happened to the brother?
I don't know. Guess he logged off for lost service or whatever. But so if I'm not mistaken, a hurricane starts like off of like the southern Africa and goes up the coast and kind of falls along the same lines as the Atlantic slave trade. So, in my honest opinion, given what I just said, the ancestors have spoken. Bottom line, the hurricane don't just come down shortly after they make a decision to keep a Confederate monument that's been standing for 105 years.
Ancestor said, "Get that shit out of here." Mm-hmm.
So instead of calling it Hurricane Laura, they should call it like Hurricane Bonquisha or something like that, because that definitely was not no white woman. That was a black woman. That was the ancestors that destroyed that monument. It's gone.
Bonquisha.
Yeah, Hurricane Bonquisha, something like that.
Hurricane Malcolm, not Hurricane Malcolm.
No,
Hurricane Bonquisha.
hurricanes are definitely women, because
what?
hurricanes are always damn near named after women, because we know a woman's wrath and her scorn, and I believe that the ancestors have spoken. Like, took the statue down, it destroyed it. Shortly after, they voted to keep it. So, you know, it's karma. It's that energy. You know, if you sow good seeds into the universe will bless you with the crop in which you sow. So if you sow good seeds, you're going to reap good and bountiful harvest.
Don't talk about karma now. Your boy Aries Spears may not agree with that.
Sick of him too. But anyways, like I was saying, if you sow negative seeds, that harvest is going to be negative. So you had this Confederate statue, which was basically South against the North. Wasn't so much about slavery. It was about the economics of slavery, not slavery itself. South was like, we keeping these slaves because we could take our raw textiles and ship them globally. The North was like, no, you're not keeping these slaves because we cannot afford to pay you for the textiles that you have because your labor is so cheap. We need your textiles for our factories in the North. And South was like, nope. And that's really why they went to war. So you're still trying to celebrate the fact that the Confederates were heroes. Heroes. They're trying to celebrate that fact. So if you voted to keep a Confederate monument, a statue, ain't no telling how much more heinous shit you've done from 1915 on up until 2020. And finally, the universe had enough. And it was ready to bestow upon you the negative energy in which you sowed. And that's why that monument got destroyed. So everything else is pretty much cool, but the monument got destroyed. Like, you don't see something odd about that, a connection, whatever it is. That's the ancestors, honestly. And that might be some of that negative karma that they got from Hurricane Katrina. Because I think this was like the 10th year or something like that, anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, something like that. And Hurricane Katrina could have been avoided because I was actually talking to a brother who's from Louisiana. Like, you can hear it all up in his voice. You okay, baby? Yeah. So I asked the brother, I was like, hey, bro, where you from? I'm from Louisiana, baby. I'm from New Orleans. I was like, I could tell by your accent.
That baby, that drawl on that baby.
I'm from New Orleans, baby. I said, well, what you doing up here? He's like, man, we had to relocate because of Hurricane Katrina. So I asked the dude, I was like, so what really happened with Hurricane Katrina? He like, man, baby, I ain't gonna lie to you. We heard when Hurricane Katrina came in, we all basically boarded up our houses and, you know, we was ready to ride out the storm. And then, like, shortly before, like, the mass part of the hurricane started hitting that area, you know, New Orleans and Alabama and all that down there, you know, Louisiana, he said we heard a loud boom. And so basically what dude was telling me, they blew a hole or blew a couple holes in the levee that would have kept the lower part or the poor part of New Orleans intact. The levee did not break. He was telling me they destroyed it because everybody heard a loud boom.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, if they hadn't have busted the levees, all the rich white people houses would have been flooded. And they was like, no, we're not doing that. Let the Negroes suffer. And I heard that first from a brother from New Orleans, and I couldn't be like, yeah, brother, I believe you, man. That makes a whole lot of sense. Honestly, I've never heard that before because I, haven't really talked to any
Mm-hmm.
people who was actually down in New Orleans or in the area when Katrina hit. But I was like, that makes perfect sense. So, hey, it is what it is. What else we got? Yes. Breckenridge Hills.
Who killed?
Breckenridge Hills.
Ooh, I drove through there. I was like, all right, here we go.
I'm going to see if I can try to find the article on my Facebook.
It just felt wrong driving through there, to be honest with you.
Breckenridge Hills is one of those municipalities in St. Louis. Here it is. Breckenridge Hills is one of those municipalities that in St. Louis that should not exist. Honestly. It shouldn't exist because anybody, if you from St. Louis, you know how everything's set up. From 170 and Rock Road, all the way down to 70 and Rock Road's not technically there. But yeah, the 70 and Rock Road, you got 100,000 municipality. You got St. John, you got this municipality, you got Breckenridge Hills, you got St. Anne, then you got Bridgeton, then you got this municipality, then you got that.
Country Club. Is Country Club Hill still a thing?
Country Club Hills, I thought that was off of like West Florida.
You're right. West Florida, St. Luke's not. You're right.
Right. So niggas know.
Online.
By niggas. Black folk know you don't drive all the way down through St. Rock Road unless your shit is completely legitimate. And even then, you might as well take the highway. Get off here, get off on that end. You don't never drive straight through. I remember St. John pulled me over in the work van, in the company van, because I didn't have my lights on.
Wow.
It was summertime, and it was like 7:30. It was dusk, but it wasn't dark. There was still plenty of daylight. Dude gave me, I didn't have my headlights on. And I was in St. John. I'm like, it's plenty of daylight. You can't even see the headlights at this point. Nope, nigga gave me a
ticket. Dude was just being an asshole.
Everybody knows you don't drive down St. Charles Rock Road.
True.
Not unless you have to. You damn sure don't drive through St. Anne.
Nah, I had a sister who lived in St. Anne, right over there, right over there by where Penn Station and all that strip mall is. She lived right around the corner from that. I was like right before that Schnucks, I would literally get in and get out. I didn't drive down St. Charles Rock. I'm legal, and I still don't like driving down St. Charles Rock Road at all.
I didn't even know Breckenridge Hills was as big as it was until I went to go visit Courtney at his parents' house some years ago. He was like, I live in Breckenridge. Breckenridge? What the hell is Breckenridge? Breckenridge ain't but that big. Like, literally, if you could imagine Breckenridge, so you coming down St. Charles Rock Road. So, St. Charles Rock Road goes from east to west. So you can St. Charles Rock Road, you got Breckenridge Hills, and then you go like less than a mile down St. Charles Rock Road, and that's literally how big. It's like this big, and then it kind of like goes into the interior, in the whole county area. But like when you driving down Rock Road, it's literally like a couple of streets. Breckenridge Hills is hella fucking small. Why is it there? Why?
That's an amazing question.
You know, but it's like dope fiends and meth heads and it's all type. It's all type of like little drug places. Because my boy was like, "Oh, that's a meth house over there. That's a meth house over there. That's where the Mexicans be at. They sell weed there." So there was a sister, a woman who went to the Breckenridge Hills Police Department to find out exactly why the police came to her house. And according to Real STL News, Breckenridge Hills, Missouri woman, St. Louis County. It's all St. Louis County. Like Ferguson, St. Anne, it's all St. Louis County. They're just tiny little municipalities inside of St. Louis County. But, you know, you got city, which is like all one unit, different district. Then you got county. Counties is so broke up into so many little bullshit ass municipalities. But according to STL News, she went to the police station to find out why 6 policemen came to her house early Wednesday morning while she was at work. Now, mind you, she works for the city of Breckenridge Hills as an emergency dispatcher, if I'm not mistaken. So keep that in mind. The encounter happened around 7 a.m. and was so terrifying to the point where it scared my 5-year-old son, who was at home alone with his grandmother. The woman came up to the station to find out exactly what happened because she wasn't home during the encounter, and her mother told the woman that the officers had their guns drawn during the incident. The woman can be heard calmly asking the supervisor for answers. The supervisor can be seen being very short with the worried mother. The officer claimed that they were looking for a missing juvenile. The woman tells the police supervisor, "You're being very rude." The officer responds with, "I know." The supervisor responds and shortly later opens a door and leaves the woman standing out in the lobby in amazement. After about 10 minutes of trying to get solid answers as to what happened at her home, the woman got nothing but attitudes and dismissals from yet another officer. Why they came to her home, like they said, they were looking for a missing juvenile. That's fine. But why were you at her house? The police was like, well, we got the wrong house. So it's just basically like, well, we made a mistake, get over it. Or we was at the wrong house, get over it. That's pretty much what he said. He's like, well, we're at the wrong house. I'm just trying to figure out, why do you police officers mysteriously always go to the wrong house? When y'all shot Breonna Taylor in her sleep while she was laying in her bed with nothing but unmentionables on, if she had that on, we had the wrong house. First of all, why you had the wrong house? But if that was a white person, they would have been apologizing profusely. They would have tried to make it right. Oh, we was at the wrong house. So your police work in 2020, your technology and all your tips and sources and all the resources that you have available at your fingertips, you go to the wrong house. Luckily, thank God, thank the Creator, that neither her mother nor her son got shot or killed in the process. But let me tell you, it's very terrifying to have an officer come knock on your door late at night, early in the morning.
Now, would you like to hear what Breckenridge Police Department had to say about this shit?
In just a second, Rebecca.
Okay.
With this, it's terrifying to have a a police officer come knock on your door early in the morning. At least it is for a black person. I'm not gonna say I'm necessarily afraid of the police, but I had 2 St. Louis City police detectives come knock on my door like 11:30 at night. That's when I was staying on the south side. They was knocking on my door. I was knocking on my door like I was asleep. So now I gotta put some clothes on, come to the door. These niggas got flashlights and shit. Yeah, have you seen this person? No. Does he live here? I mean, he used to live in that apartment, but I haven't seen him. Are you sure you haven't seen him? Do you know anything? Like, no. I don't hardly see that dude around here. Honestly, I ain't seen him for a while. They want to ask you 10,000 questions. And that's the time I had my pit bull, and I used to keep him in the basement. So, they got to come up with their flashlights. They got to shine, look, see if they can see anything suspicious. This nigga gonna call himself shining the flashlight in the basement. And y'all done woke my dog up. So when my dog seen that light, he was like, that motherfucker, hurry up, turn that shit off. But it's very terrifying when police come knock on your door early in the morning, late at night. You don't know what the hell they want. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who been shot. You don't know if you got some mysterious warrants out there. Or they want to bring you in for questioning. You just don't know. But Rebecca, go ahead and tell us what Breckenridge Hills had to say.
So they not only had something to say, they posted a sound bite that I can't verify whether it's the mother, not the lady who went to the police station, but her mom, the grandmother. We can't verify if it's the grandmother or not. But Breckenridge Hill said, a video has been circulating social media that was taken by a person who responded to our department yesterday. The person made allegations that police responded to her mother's residence in search of a runaway juvenile. The person made allegations that police had their firearms out of their holsters, which startled her mom and son. It should be noted that the person making this allegation was not present at the time of the incident. The facts are that the police did respond to her mother's residence and knock on the door. However, they realized they were at the wrong address, explained it to the lady who answered the door. No weapons were drawn. This was explained to the lady at our department, and she refused to accept this as an answer. This morning, Detective Armour went to the address and spoke to the resident. She stated that she was startled that the police was there, but said she did not see any officer with his gun drawn and that the police were professional. A copy of the interview can be heard below. It should be noted that in this day and age, untrue allegations can destroy relationships that took years to build. We find allegations such as this disturbing and can have damaging effects on future relationships. If an officer truly handles themselves in an unprofessional manner, this agency will respond accordingly. Please be truthful when speaking with the police. It benefits us all.
That's a cap. That's a cap.
And I'm just saying that there's no proof that this was really the lady you was talking to. It's only audio. There's no video proof of that. Like visual video proof.
But how can you get the wrong house, though? Still that around in my mind. Y'all got satellite technologies. You can view people's phones and look up how much porn they be watching.
Not how much porn.
But you can't get the right house looking for a juvenile. Get the fuck out of here. And then when the woman get answers as to why you came to her house early in the morning, startled her elderly mother and her young son, she couldn't get no answers. Y'all can look up the video. I'm not going to post the video on here. It's far too long. But you can look in the video. She was calm, cool, collected, wanted answers. And she told him plenty of times, she's like, I work for the Breckenridge Hills Emergency Department. I just got off of work. I work for the emergency department. Please tell me what happened. Then finally, she, it was the wrong house. So basically, nigga, we made a mistake, nigga, get over it.
Pretty much.
I wonder how much of a mistake that was. Because with all these technologies, you can't get the right house? Really? So let's just put this in context. If y'all niggas geared up for a raid, a drug raid, and you got all your dogs and you got all your SWAT gear together, you got all your people, and you go to the wrong location, the motherfuckers who got all the dope is long gone by the time you get to their place. So all this preparation and planning that you niggas have done in this drug operation, this drugs, nothing. The niggas who got the dope, by niggas, I just mean the individual who has the product is long gone. So you mean tell me that you're looking for a runaway juvenile and you have the wrong house?
Mm-hmm. It don't
Really?
make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But how about you do some real police work? Get those drugs. But and I don't like St. Louis County because I don't like cops, period. I just put it like that. St. Louis County ain't no saints. Hell, they damn near killed more people in hit and run vehicle accidents than other people have. Like everybody want to talk about how bad Natural Bridge is and how bad the city is. Yeah, the city's bad. Sure, the city is bad. St. Louis City police officers are not innocent. They've chased people through the streets, and instead of letting them go out of the safety of the public, let them go, either put a helicopter on them or try to find them at another point in time. They want to chase them through the streets. There have been all type of accidents. People have been killed, but they don't never want to talk about the county. They don't never want to talk about the county. St. Louis County, full of shit. They crooked. They killed this little girl last year trying to chase somebody. I think it was around the Riverview Circle, trying to chase somebody, and the police officer lost control, hit this little black girl, and she died. Really?
Yeah.
I don't like none of you motherfuckers. None of it. Well, you gonna call the police when you get in trouble. I may or I may not call the police. If you actually did real police work, if you actually upholded the laws, stop killing people in your pursuit of other criminals, you know, if you did what you were supposed to do as an officer of the law, I would not have a problem with you. If you treated everybody like you treat the white people, which is actually what you're supposed to do, for the most part. Now, granted, there's been several videos of white people getting out of their cars, cussing out the police, damn near shooting at them. In that situation, if you was a neutral police officer, you would be in fear for your life and you would shoot. But because we know that white people protect each other, they will let the white people slam them on the ground, shoot at them, spit at them, punch them in the face. They won't do nothing. They'll just let them walk. But if you actually did your job as police officers, as peacekeepers, I would have a problem with the police. But it seems to me like the police are causing more harm than good. And people want to say like, well, you should thank the police that they're here because without the police, this will be a lawless society. And I mean, it's already a lawless society. The police are the law, and they're the most lawless out of all of us. You use your emergency and lights for some bullshit because you don't want to be stuck in traffic. So I'm just gonna flip my lights on. And it ain't even only the police, it's the EMS too. There was a video that I seen a couple of weeks ago of, I think, a matter of fact, because they all in cahoots. Let's put it like that. They all in cahoots. So the police I think it was George Floyd, actually. I think it was another part of the George Floyd video. It wasn't the video. Okay, part of it, okay, let me put it like this. I think part of it, it was the body cam footage of one of the police officers. So the dude had his knee on George Floyd's neck. Then the EMS came, and you see all this body cam footage, and he's pretending like he's trying to resuscitate him and all this, that, and the third. They ain't even trying to rush him to the hospital. Once they thought that he was dead, these niggas just pulled over and had a casual conversation. Oh yeah. So Susan, how's your wife doing? You know, I mean, or how's your husband doing? You know, I had a good turkey sandwich the other day. Like these niggas just having random casual conversation.
Regular ass conversation.
Like this man did not just die in the back of the ambulance. You just like, oh, he's dead. Well, let's just pull over. Have some conversation. Yeah, so how your kids doing? What?
That's crazy.
This man laying dead in the back of your ambulance or dying in the back of it. And we don't know if he was dead or not. But this man is laying dead, dying in the back of the ambulance. And once you feel like there's no longer any need to try to attempt to save this man's life, let's just
right.
have them conversations. It kind of reminds me of them announcing lynchings in church. Like that's just normal. Today for the announcements and then we're gonna have a lynching today at 3 o'clock.
Right.
Where
bring your kids
and bring your picnic baskets and stuff like that. They would literally announce lynchings of black men and women in white churches. So when I tell you there's no more place more racially segregated than a church on Sunday morning. To me, it's the same mentality. It's normal to you. It's fucking normal to you for us to die and you just sitting there eating a sandwich. Oh, look at that nigga. Oh, look at the way he's squirming on that rope. Man, this sandwich is good. Like this shit's normal to you. But on the flip side, we have to defend ourselves. I've seen too many videos of us not defending ourselves. It was a group of black women sitting on their porch, on their property, minding their own business, talking loud, because that's what black people do. We are a loud, very expressive, very colorful people. You see that? Hey, what's up, nigga? Boy, I ain't seen you, boy, goddamn, about 15 years, nigga. Boy, you look good, goddamn. Boy, man, that's just how we are. These sisters were sitting on the porch, minding their own business, and guess who shows up? The motherfucking law. Nobody call his ass. Nobody report nothing. He just driving by. Oh, you niggas is talking too loud. Like them sisters that was on that winery trip on that train. We're not have to ask you to leave. You niggas are talking. I mean, you black girls are talking too loud. These, it was like 3 or 4 black women sitting on the porch, minding their business. Police came and gaffed one of the sisters up, tased her, threw her all down in the bushes and shit. And I'm just like, when are we gonna start defending ourselves? When? Who gives a fuck about the law? The laws of nature supersede any law that man has in place. Just like you can move on that beachfront property, you can move the sand out in Dubai. You know, they got them sand islands that you made, but eventually creation will take back over. Yo, let your grass get too high. Let you not trim your trees. Shit grows up fast. There's a vacant property within walking distance of here that's got grass growing on the roof. Nature's gonna take back over regardless. The laws of nature stand supreme above all. And God did not create anything or anybody that did not have the ability to be able to defend itself.
Yep.
Lobsters and crabs have pincers.
For a reason. Yep.
For a reason. A lion has a claws and sharp teeth, not only to hunt, but to also to be able to defend itself. When are we gonna start defending ourselves? When are we gonna start defending each other? Because if I seen some shit jumping off, I would probably jump in, because a lot of times we not even doing nothing wrong. We could be walking down the street. Get on the ground, nigga. Like, hold up, nigga. Street, you just jumped out? Oh, I'm sorry, we had the wrong person. No, you didn't have the wrong person. You just felt like fucking with somebody. When we gonna start defending ourselves? When that little white boy went up there in Kenosha, Wisconsin, from Illinois, murdered people, 17 years old, doesn't even have the lawful right to carry a firearm. They let him walk. They gave him full hand signal and everything. Let that man do what he want to do. But when it comes to us, it's a problem. So when we going to start defending ourselves, we have to defend ourselves. Have to. I'm not saying be really badass, but if somebody's coming for your life,
yeah,
you have to be able to defend yourself. You have that right.
I agree.
Where do we go wrong? What happened to the Deacons of Defense and the Black Panthers? What happened to the E. Wells of the world? Ida B. Wells is famously quoted by saying that the Winchester rifle should have a place of honor in every Black home that provides protection in which the law refuses to give. What happened to the Ida B. Wells of the world? What happened to the Harriet Tubmans of the world? Harriet Tubman was a writer. You can look at in her old pictures. I'm talking about when she's in the twilight of her years. You can look her eyes. She still got that, like that eye of the tiger. I'm not trying to be cliche, but she still got that eye of the tiger. You can look at her in her years of her twilight, and she's still looking like, nigga, I will give you this business if you get in my way. I don't give a fuck how old I am, nigga. You can get this work. What happened? We've been duped, man. We've been duped by people like Barack Obama and niggas who look like him. Come on. I'm just so sick of it, man. They're like, well, if this gonna be a war, then the white folk gonna destroy us because we don't have this and we don't have tanks and we don't have that and we don't have this. If you're always gonna be like we don't have, you always gonna be subservient to another motherfucker.
Yeah, I agree.
It's always gonna be a we don't have. We don't have this. We don't have that. I used to feel that way when it came to dating. Well, I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't have that. And I realized I'm like, I'm never gonna be in the place in I really want to be. Like, say never, but if I'm constantly waiting for everything to be perfect in my life, I'm gonna be single forever. So, although I do like to be in a certain place to where I can divide my attention away from myself and, you know, talk to a few females here and there, I realized like, yo, if I'm broke, I'm just gonna be broke. Shit, it is what it is. You know? Rebecca?
Yes.
Thoughts, comments, concerns?
No, nigga, you said everything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just think it's sad, man. I just think it's sad.
I do too. I had a conversation with Cynthia a month ago, and it was me, her, Uncle Gus, Aunt Irma, Mama on the phone, and Mama, Uncle Gus, Aunt Irma really didn't say anything. And I was telling her about some challenges that I was having with my job, as far as like, you know, this person who just like tap dance and ham bone for the white man, and they just, or just different other experiences that I've had with black people that'll be like, don't look the white man in the eyes and all this other type of stuff, and just kind of like weird shit like that. And one of the things that I said was like, what happened to us? Like, what made us lose our will to fight and um, will to kind of push back on the establishment? And one of the things that she said to me was, well, we can't be, don't be judgmental of them. And they grew up they was raised in a different time. And I said, but this isn't me being judgmental. I'm sad for them. And it frustrates me because the level of capitulation, the level of capitulation that they have, that's what they raise their kids with. They raise their kids in fear. They raise our generation in, oh, just go to work and don't get in trouble and play the game and do what the white man say, and you don't want to lose your job. And like, they raised us in all of that. They didn't give us strength in our heritage and our culture and our will to fight. They didn't instill any of that with us. It's like, go to work and kind of kowtow to the white man in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it makes me, it's heartbreaking, and it makes me sad, but it also frustrates me because you knew that what your parents was telling you was wrong. I'm talking about our parents' generation. Like, you knew at some point, like, it didn't feel right to you and it didn't feel fair to you, but you still chose to obey the establishment. And even though you felt it was wrong, you still raised your children. I was told to stop being judgmental.
Okay, you froze up there for a second, Rebecca. Can you repeat that last part, please?
Yeah, I said that even though, our generation, our parents' generation was raised with that level of fear and they knew that it was wrong, they still raised their kids with that same level of capitulation and fear. And it's almost like we're wrong because we saying like, no, we ain't going for this. And we're being, it's almost like, okay, well, you can't judge them. And I'm like, it's not about judging. It just makes me sad. Like, when did you lose your will to fight? When did you lose your will to say, no, I'm not going to stand for this and this is wrong? Like, what happened? So.
Too many of us listen to Dr. Martin Luther King instead of Malcolm X. Us were afraid of the teachings of Malcolm X and the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the like. I think a lot of us were just afraid because of what happened. Like, maybe I think the lack of fathers has a lot to do with it, honestly. Because not all the time, but a lot of times, I know my mom was like this. Don't get into fights. Don't do this. Don't do that. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Or if you did get into a fight, something happens, well, you should have chose a different path. Well, sometimes you can't always take the path of least resistance. Sometimes you got to go through the worst of it to get through the best of it. You got to bully the bully, You stand up for yourself, and sometimes you got to fight for what's yours. I think that's what we're lacking. I think we're lacking that masculine energy, like, yo, son, don't be no punk. Don't start nothing. But at the same time, like, don't be no punk. If dude keep messing with you, you got to lay hands on him. And I mean, that might be part of it. I just think we scared. And a lot of it has to do with the previous generations in which raised us, like you were saying. Back to John Lewis. I gave a lot of blood on that bridge in Selma.
Boy, you ignorant. Somebody go get your ass about talking about John Lewis.
So you've been exalting your experience on the Edmund Pettus Bridge for 50 years, 60 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, somewhere between 50 and 60 years. You have been exalting your ass whooping. Like that's something to be proud of. Sit down, Rebecca. Let me tell you about the time I got this ass whooping.
Boy, you ignorant.
Nigga, what? Nigga, what? You gonna tell me about the time you got an ass whooping? Like not the time you overcame, time you got an ass whooping. And I think Christianity has a lot to do with it too, but it's the way Christianity is taught. And I was actually listening to some old lectures that I did a couple of years ago, religious lectures dealing with certain aspects. And I said, that's some good stuff. Like we not teaching the parts of the Bible that says that, you know, Jesus told his disciples to grab your sword if you don't have a sword, sell your tunic to go get one. You know, nobody wants to talk about the parts where the Israelites had to fight to get into the land of Canaan. They had to literally slaughter everybody who was in the land of Canaan and take that theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to talk about all of the stuff that's pertaining to war and defense and stuff in the Bible. You just want to teach turn the other cheek. But you have two cheeks. How many times are you going to forgive somebody? And the first thing they're going to say is what? Well, according to the Bible, you should forgive your aggressor 7 times 7. Well, what about 77 times 7? That's how long you should forgive somebody who transgresses against you. But isn't there a passage in the Bible that says if you have an ought against your brother, leave your sacrifice at the altar and go make it right? So, well, white man been having problems with us for the longest. Have they left their sacrifice at the altar and made it right? No.
And they won't.
And they won't. So I believe Christianity has a lot to do with it because it's the way we teach it. You know, I remember I did a lecture about I forget who it was in the Bible, but dude was basically like a high-ranking general, high-ranking member of the army in which he was in, and he was praying to God, and he asked God, how long? You know, how long are we going to continue to fight? How long are we going to continue to be at war? How long, Lord, do I have to continue to do this? Like, and if you look at the context, it's telling you like they've been at this for a while. They've been doing these different battles and skirmishes. They've been fighting this war for a while. And he asked God, how long are we going to continue to do this? So I ask you today on the Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast, how long are you going to continue to let somebody oppress you before you get to your own hand? Physically, spiritually, financially, you know? You look at the gospel of commitment according to Moi, King David, it says that your life should be like an equilateral triangle. Equilateral means all sides is being equal. Your spiritual should be at the top. You got your spirit right between you and your God or you and your spiritual beliefs. That's going to set the tone for everything else. But you should be equal. You got your spirit, you got your physical, you got your mental. All things should be equal. You got to work all of those. You cannot have the spirit without, or the mental without the physical, or the mental without the spiritual. Even Clint Eastwood said in Pale Rider, he said the spirit ain't worth nothing without a little spit.
Mm.
And he was basically saying, like, yeah, I'm a preacher, but unless I work, that spirit's not worth nothing. So I ask you, how long are you going to continue to let somebody continue to oppress you, to continue to belittle you, to continue to tell you if you just dress a certain way, and if you just act a certain way, and if you just be a certain way, and if you just capitulate, we will let you be a part of our society. If you just pull up your pants,
Yep.
they're going to stop killing you. Okay. You know how many Negroes was lynched wearing suits? Because that's all they wore back then. They had a suit, and then they had like some work clothes. That was it. That's what they wore. They wore suits. And they leisure time, they wore suits. How many people was lynched wearing suits?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. I'm just sick of it. I know there's change brewing on the horizon. I understand, but I just see like it's just too many of it to just continually doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's insanity. You got to come up off that mentality. You got to leave the parts of Jesus that was a pacifist and get to the parts of Jesus that was a straight writer.
Mm-hmm.
He went to that temple. He seen the money changers in the temple. He started flipping over tables and kicking niggas out.
Yep.
How dare you disrespect this sacred place? But y'all let these Caucasoids disrespect your sacred place, whether that be your home,
Yep.
whether that be your business, or whatever you feel safe, your safe place, your place where you feel like you at home. You constantly let them disrespect you. Like I say, I'm not Billy Badass. I'm only one person. But it's like, again, we can't continue to do the same things over and over again. Well, we got to vote for Biden because Trump. They're the same. Like, we got to come up on some studying. You got to study. I think that's part of the problem. I think that's a lot of the problem. You know, if you was to study a book like Negroes with Guns, maybe that would give you a different perspective. Maybe if you was to actually study the policies of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, versus just saying, well, we're going to continue to vote Democrat. Well, Biden's better than Trump. No. He's the same. He worse than Trump because Trump has never written any legislation that they put in the laws called 3 strikes. Trump never spent his entire professional career oppressing black people like Kamala Harris did. Yeah, sure, Trump's a racist. No, I'm saying he's not. Of course, Trump's a racist. But if you look at the policies, who put policies in place? Who put laws in place? Trump is the racist who's racist to your face. Biden's the racist who's going to be racist behind your back. And quite honestly, he's not even racist behind your back. Well, I'm not responsible for what my ancestors did all those years ago. I don't care if those black people had up childhoods. I don't care if they come from broken homes. I don't care that their dad was not in their life. I don't care that they grew up in the foster system. I'm just paraphrasing, okay? But this is pretty much what he said. You can look it up on YouTube. You ain't got to take my word for it. I don't care. I'm not responsible for that. One of these Negroes could knock my mother in the head. But Joe, you created those Negroes. I don't care that I created the circumstances that made them the way they are. But you just tunnel vision. You gotta learn to think and see in a myriad of colors. That's one thing I had to understand. Because my parents, are from that older generation. They not coons or nothing like that. But they kind of taught me like black and white. The world is black and white. It's not black and white. It's a myriad of colors. You know, so you got to be able to look at all things in totality and make the best decision for your life. I had a homeboy who I've known since kindergarten. My dude just moved to Texas. I think it was Houston. One of them, nigga just moved to Texas. But if you feel like that's the best move for you and your children, you got to do that. In St. Louis for the majority part of her life, but it came a time Rebecca had to look at her situation. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to leave St. Louis. I had to leave St. Louis. My brother had to leave going to the military and see the world and do all this, that, and the third. You know, my uncle had to leave from Arizona so he can get away from all that negativity and all those negative people that he was around that kept getting him into situations in which he would end up back incarcerated. So you have to be able to look at your situation in totality to be able to make the best decision for your life. And we're not going to continue to do that by closing our eyes and putting our head in the sand and putting our head in our legs like it's a tornado drill, hoping that this tornado is going to pass over you. That's it, man. I ain't got nothing more to say. I could go on and stand on my soapbox for a long time, but I'm not gonna do that. So we're just gonna end that here. Rebecca, you got something you want to promote?
Not yet.
Very good. Y'all go out and get that spiritual betrayal. How many volumes? 2 volumes. Get the Spiritual Betrayal, Volume 1 and 2. Very good. She working on some other stuff. So I look forward to reading your next work, Rebecca. Honestly, I do.
I'm sure you do, because you're in it.
I done forgot all about that, to be perfectly honest with you.
That's okay.
But I mean, you got some very good books, like very good. Like you should be more popular than what you are, but I understand.
I'll get there.
Things take time, you know. So I get it.
You finna see a little light-skinned woman walk through here. Come on. Watch this.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Mama, how you doing?
All right.
Good.
No, come back on here. You're going to be on live. He going to put you on the internet.
No, leave it in. I'm too old for that.
She ain't worried about that.
Now she's a senior citizen. She wasn't a senior citizen earlier today.
So what?
Hey, man, you know them senior citizens, they got that, like Jeff Brown said, they got that flair. I got one last flair for you. I got this and I got this, and that's all I got left for you. But you're going to get these doorknobs, if only for a second. The Overweight Lover on Instagram,
He's good.
Facebook, all that good stuff. More along St. Louis. It's been real. Thank you, Rebecca. I would ask you to get something to eat, but it is pretty late.
It is 9:08.
You know, with this COVID going on, everybody be shutting down early, so
That is the truth.
can't even go to IHOP no more. IHOP shut their doors down at a certain time. I was like, what?
Yeah, they not 24 hours. I think it's for like something at 10 o'clock. At least in Kansas it is.
Nah,
I don't know
here
what
I
it
think
is
it's like
here.
8 o'clock. Because I went down. I was hoping to just sit down and have a decent meal. And he was like, well, we're taking orders, but we're not eating. I was like, oh.
The dine-in is shut down at a certain time.
Right. So screw COVID, because we can't go out kicking no more. But Rebecca, we going
Stupid.
much definitely before you book town. So
Well, if you let Maxine Young tell it, I'll be here until January 2021. And then technically by that time it's gonna be snowing. So I'll really be here until the springtime 2021.
well, happy birthday, January.
All right.
Yeah, Rebecca,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have my people call your people. We're gonna do lunch, okay?
Nigga, you ain't got no people. You just gonna call one of my cell phones. But you tried it.
Right. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If this is on the YouTube side of the game, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna try to drop new content every week. Otherwise, you can catch us on the major streaming platforms, Spotify and Anchor, Google Play, iTunes, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna get me some Uber Eats, and then that's gonna be it. So we'll holler at you guys next time. Deuce.